Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting ready to board the flight to go to Norway, to Oslo for the European Health Economics Association conference. So I'll see you there. The flight isn't long at all, so you don't even have to prepare a lot of entertainment, but it helps even more when you fall asleep. So just landed in Oslo. I've just got my train ticket, so we're going to go into the city centre where I'll be staying at my hotel. So whilst in the hotel, I took the opportunity to check some emails and just make sure that I was prepared for the week ahead. So after a productive afternoon of work admin and also life admin pre-conference, just enjoying an evening stroll in the middle of Oslo. The city is really clean and the people are quite friendly as well. So it's been nice to walk around and see what's going on. My hotel was quite close to a number of different landmarks, so I took the opportunity to do some sightseeing in the evening. Good morning, everyone. Just woke up, had a good night's sleep, ready for the new day. This morning I will be attending a pre-conference workshop, and it is Health Economic Theory for Empirical Economists, modeling demand and supply. So that will be interesting. Then this afternoon I've got some free time, and then later on in the evening we will be going to Oslo Town Hall for the opening reception. So looking forward to the day ahead. Definitely excited to see the University of Oslo's campus, and also just take public transport and see a bit more of Oslo as well. So just had breakfast. I'm just about to hop onto the train to go to the University of Oslo campus. Got a warm drink, so I'm ready to go. Abraham. So we received a welcome pack, which included an invitation to Oslo City Hall, the invitation and some drink tokens to the Opera House,
a map, some extra name tags, and lastly, a certificate of attendance.
So we just wrapped up this morning's session. It was really informative and there was a lot of information shared, so I will definitely have to go back and look at the slides, and just had some lunch as well. So this afternoon I have a bit of free time, so I'm going to go around sightseeing and then get ready for the reception this evening. So I'm just on my afternoon sightseeing tour just before the reception later tonight, and I'm on my way to the Citadel, so hopefully it will be something cool to see and there'll be some good views as well.
I had a bit of time to spare before the City Hall event and I found this tightrope, funnily enough, opposite City Hall, so I decided to try and cross it. After a few failed attempts, I decided to go home and get ready for the City Hall event.
So I'm just about to enter the Oslo City Town Hall for the opening reception for the European Health Economics Association conference. So see you inside.
Oslo City Hall and to this reception. I know your conference was planned for 2020 but had to be postponed due to the COVID-19.
And we hope you will enjoy the rest of the evening in this fantastic location and also Oslo. Oslo has a lot to offer, so I hope you will have the opportunity to explore Oslo.
Project to get this up and standing with the best we had on Norwegian artisans and materials. Now, this room, as we all know now, is once a year we get on the world map on the 10th of December for the Nobel Peace Prize. There's everything except oil, because that came later. So, you can see fishing, forestry, farming and industry. But there's also one thing that's important, that's the sailor. the maritime. Oslo has always been a maritime city and also the coast of Norway, a maritime country.
We had an opportunity to go around the city hall and see all the art and all the rooms, so that was quite exciting to see. So the city hall was decorated with a number of rooms featuring Norwegian art from the early 1900s to about 1950. This is the room where the city council comes to cast its votes. This hallway features a number of different articles from around Norway, but other pieces which have been gifted from countries around the world.
So we just finished at Oslo City Hall and we had a really good night. I was able to speak to some other health economists from a number of different countries, and it was great to see what Oslo has to offer in terms of culture, because Edvard Munch, the famous painter, he gave a number of his portraits and paintings to the Oslo municipality just before he died. So it was a nice repository of a number of different paintings and things like that. So it was cool to see. Now I'm just outside in Oslo, just going for another walk around and seeing what there is.
So for those of you that don't know me, I'm quite big into my sport, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to see what the Oslo basketball scene has to offer.
So I'm just on my way back home to the hotel now. Believe it or not, it is 10:30 at night, but the sky is very well lit. One of the perks of summer, really, and also being in a country that has late sunsets, it means that with the conference days you still be able to enjoy to the maximum, basically, which I'm really, really appreciative of. So yeah, that is 10:30 at night in Norway, or in Oslo.
On my way home, I saw this group of people dancing in the street. I didn't quite get an opportunity to ask what it was about, but I thought I would share with you the good summer Oslo vibes.
Good morning, everybody. Just had another night's sleep. Today is the start of the main conference. So if I understood correctly, there will be about 700 delegates there today. So it's a big affair. Definitely not small by any means. I'm looking forward to the conference sessions today. There were a number of different parallel sessions and like subjects and themes as well. So I definitely have to use the app in order to navigate what is going on. But I'm looking forward to it.
Breakfast at my hotel was a self-service buffet, and honestly it was 10 out of 10. Whatever you wanted, they had it there, ranging from hot food to fruit to cereals to pastries.
So after a big breakfast, which will either give me enough energy for the day or make me fall asleep before 11 o'clock, I'm ready to go. We're just about to walk into the first plenary session today, and I'm here with my friend from Finland, who is called Elina. So yeah, we're about to go in now. So I will show you what is going on.
Of our national organizing committee. It's a pleasure for me to wish you welcome to University of Oslo and to the European Health Economics Conference 2022.
That people have been starting to notice my outfit. I'm wearing a pink jacket, and I've been wearing it for the last couple of days because my luggage hasn't arrived. And so if I'm wearing the same clothes on Friday for my presidential address, you'll know why. I can also say that the organizing committee are really, really helpful.
You know what happened that summer, and I'm very grateful that I got what in U.S. supermarkets we call a rain check, when they don't have enough of something and they let you have it another day. So this is my rain check talk today, and I'm going to talk about the U.S. healthcare system and the COVID-19 experience.
After the first plenary session, it was time for the first parallel session of the conference. And the first parallel session that I wanted to go to was in the other building, which was about a 30-second walk from the first building that you saw.
So we just finished the first parallel session. It was about preference. So I actually learned some new things, and there were a lot of concepts which I haven't heard of before, or was quite unfamiliar with, but it's quite useful. So now it's time for some lunch. That will definitely help me kind of sustain my energy levels throughout the rest of the afternoon. So come follow me. Okay, I've just grabbed my lunch right here. It's quite nice, similar to what I got yesterday. So yeah, there's a number of people sitting outside. We've got about an hour before the next session. So yeah, I'm about to tuck in.
So there was a session after lunch, but I wasn't able to record much during that part, so just skip straight to the coffee break.
So that wraps up day one of the conference. It's been a very good day, very productive, packed with a lot of different sessions on a number of different subjects and topics. So I've done my best to work around the ones that line up with my research interests, but also my personal interests as well. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and now I have a better idea of how things are going to work within the conference day. So now it's now my free time, so follow me and see what I get up to tonight. So back out again. It's raining, as you can see, with my windbreaker hood up, but it's only a sprinkle, so it's not too bad. Hopefully gonna check out the I believe it's an outdoor sauna, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully the weather doesn't spoil it, but either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what it has to offer. Whoa, so we have just finished a breathing exercise known as the ritual. It requires you to stay inside the sauna for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then do some nasal breathing afterwards. I managed to survive until the end, but I have very little energy, as you can see now, but it was worth it. So if you're ever in Oslo, come down to Salt and you can improve your nasal breathing. Oh, wow. So, just finished in the sauna. It was an amazing experience, and as I said, if you ever come to Oslo, 1000% would recommend it. It's really been refreshing, and now I'm ready to get some food and definitely drink some water because I must be somewhat dehydrated. But yeah, great experience, absolutely phenomenal. And also just right now I am looking at the Opera House and the Edvard Munch Museum, but I'll show you those tomorrow when we go to have our evening there. So we just finished eating with some of the other health economists that we met at HESG, and here I have Igor with me.
Hello everyone.
We just went to the sauna, the outdoor sauna, and then we just went to go and get some food in like a food hall. What did you think of it?
Yeah, pretty good. Can't complain. Sauna was very nice. Food was alright.
There we
Nice
go.
day.
So yeah, we had fun, and as you can see, it's still very light outside. So I really love summer in Oslo because the days are so long. There's boundless possibilities that you have basically. So yeah.
Just before bed, I thought I would give the tightrope another attempt.
So back in the hotel now. Had a great day one at EuHEA, and I'm excited for tomorrow. We have some more plenary sessions, and some people that I've met are going to be presenting, so I'm definitely going to go and support them, and also look for some other parallel sessions that are within my research interests as well. So yeah, good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Day 2 of the conference. Looking forward to today. Today is definitely going to be another jam-packed day of learning and sharing of ideas. I'm going to be supporting some people that I've met here, but also at the HESG conference that was in Sheffield about 2 weeks ago now. So I think it's nice that this community can continue to support each other internationally, but also domestically as well, amongst Brits and other people based in the UK. So yeah, and then this afternoon or evening, shall I say, we are going to the Opera House. So I'm really looking forward to that. Architecturally, it's a great building, but also there's a lot of culture behind it as well. So yeah, that's the day today. So I'm just on the university campus now. I'm about to make my way to the morning sessions. I've got 2 parallel sessions which I am eyeing right now, so I'm just thinking of the best way to visit both and sit in and listen to what is going on. So that is what I'm going to be doing now.
The individual presentations that I wanted to sit in on were in 2 separate buildings during the same parallel session. So fortunately it worked out this time, but it's not something I would necessarily recommend to other people. It's better to be present within one session and stay there, but this time it worked out. So up until this point, you've only heard from me, so I thought it would be worth hearing from other people to see what they think about Oslo.
So today I'm here with a familiar face. I've just come to see the presentation that Ellen McGrain delivered, and we met 2 weeks ago at HESG. So Ellen, how did you find the presentation, but how have you found being in Oslo and the conference as in itself?
Yeah, I thought it went well and we got some really good comments, and yeah, it's great being in Oslo, it's great travelling again, and it's a much bigger conference. The uni's lovely and the city's lovely, and met such a wide range of researchers here, so yeah, it's been really, really good opportunity, I think.
So Matt, how have you found the conference so far? How did your presentation go, and how have you enjoyed Oslo?
Oslo's been great. I've really enjoyed the city. In terms of coming to the conference, currently balancing childcare with coming to the conference. So my partner's also a health economist. We've had to deal with a toddler, but she's loving it in Oslo, but it means I've not seen as much as I'd like to at the conference. But in terms of what I want out of the conference, I've seen a lot of research to do with mental health, which is an area of interest of mine. It's great to see so many sessions to do with mental health in terms of capturing mental health outcomes, inclusion in research projects. But I'm also seeing quite a few sessions on kind of causal inference methods and the application to health economics, which is a big area now with the particularly with NICE's new real-world evidence framework out. So it's a good spread, and it's good to see so many people from around the world and see such a great gathering of health economists. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
After parallel session 6, it was lunchtime, and also at the same time there was the poster display session as well. After the plenary session, I came to support the presentation of Ule and Igor, two people whom I had met at HESG 2 weeks before.
So that concludes day 2. I haven't been able to speak to you all as much as I would have liked to, but I wanted to be present and also attentive. There are a number of people that I went to see present their research findings that I've met over the last few days and weeks as well. So that was nice to see and follow their progress and just support them as well. So now, just before we go to the Opera House, have a little bit of free time, so I'm going to go home and maybe try and rest a little bit. So see you soon.
This store had caught my eye a few times in the last couple of days, and I thought, let me pop in given that it was adjacent to the hotel. Tightrope was also right next to the hotel, so I said to myself, let me quickly have an attempt to cross to the other side before I have to go back outside. And as you can see, I very nearly got it, but today wasn't the day, so it was time to go and get ready for the Opera House event.
One thing which is interesting here is that the ground floor is known as number 1.
So that was interesting. Took me a second to realise. So I'm just on my way to the Opera House for tonight's event. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely to see the Opera House inside and in person, because it really is some beautiful architecture. But also just to kind of do a debrief of the day and of the last couple of days with the other delegates and just have a good time. So follow me and I'll show you around.
So this is the view that I wanted you all to see that I was saving from before. So there was a buffet waiting for us with a number of different Norwegian delicacies ready for us to sample.
Dear health economists, welcome to the Oslo Opera House. The Norwegian National Opera and Ballet moved into this building in 2008. Tonight, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce you to a talented young Norwegian opera singer. Eva Langeland Gjerde is an awarded lyric soprano and a coming star. And she will sing 3 songs from famous operas here tonight. And Olga Jørgensen will accompany Eva on piano. Olga did her concerto debut in 2016 in Bergen, and since then she has performed all over the world.
The night was in full swing, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to speak to some more delegates.
We go again.
Okay, so here I am with
Randall Ellis.
And Randall, where are you from?
I'm from Boston University.
And how have you found the conference so far over the last couple of days?
I found it really exciting. Of course, everyone is delighted to be back and meeting in person, but there's so many ideas that have been accumulating over the last 2 years that it's an even more exciting conference than the usual EuHEA or EuHEA conferences that I go to.
Yeah. And would you say there's anything that you've opened your eyes to in relation to health economics?
Well, I'm already very experienced in health economics, but for me, my area of work on risk adjustment, I was happy to discover all these new young people who are excited about health and are working in, aspects of my research. So there's a whole new generation of researchers working on provider payment, health plan payment, and incentives in healthcare.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm here on the roof of the Opera House. Honestly, it is amazing. I've never seen anything like it, and the night has been great as well. It's been really, really cool to see everybody just kind of relax and just let their hair down a little bit before tomorrow's final day of conference proceedings. So yeah. Okay, so now I am with
Josephine Aipetanier.
And Josephine, how have you found the conference and what have you learned over the last few days?
Well, the conference has been very nice. I have met a lot of interesting people that I only read about or saw online. So it's been nice meeting with other health economists from across Europe. So I have learned a lot of things from a lot of presentations, and it has been very interesting.
Okay, here I am with
Niranjana Prasad from UC Louvain.
And Niranjana, how has the last few days been for you and what have you learned?
So overarchingly, the last few days has been really busy, but I think it has been a very edifying experience because I was able to learn about different methodologies and how it's not always when it comes to policy making causality that matters, but correlation also contributes to great policy making. And outside of academia, when you're sort of enclosed in a bubble, you don't see how this translates into different stakeholders listening to you. Yeah, so it was a great experience.
So by this time, the DJ had managed to fill the whole dance floor. I didn't manage to get any footage of people dancing, but you can see everyone's gathered together, so it was definitely going off. So by 11 o'clock, the Opera House was closing, but many people took the festivities elsewhere, but I went home for an early night's sleep so I could get ready for my presentation.
Good morning, everyone. So today is a bit of a different type of wake up this morning. I woke up and started my presentation just to practice, but I'm feeling motivated, excited. I'm just quickly about to go and get some breakfast. So I'm here in the university campus. We're just about to have a presidential address, and then there is going to be parallel session 9, and then I'll be presenting at parallel session 10.
And I'm now standing here in another suit. My pink jacket's gone, and some of you might infer that I actually got my luggage, but that's a wrong causal inference interpretation. The confounder is the Steen and Strøm department store. So I'm still waiting for my luggage.
Okay, so here I am with...
My name is Dorte Gyrt Hansen. I'm the president of the EuHEA, the European Health Economics Association.
And how have you found the last few days of the conference?
Well, I've really enjoyed it. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a physical conference. It's been really nice to meet people. I think it's very much, I mean, the sessions have been good. There have been nice academic discussions, but people have also been able to meet in between and have the more ad hoc discussions, and they've also been able to socialize, and I think that's very important. Of course, there's been some challenges. We had some strikes in terms of SAS striking, and so some people weren't able to arrive. And so we've had to organize ourselves out of that, and we made some sessions hybrid. We've also been streaming the plenary sessions so that people who were planning to attend but could not attend were able to either present or at least listen to the presenters. So I thought I think it's been a very agile organization where we've been able to adjust to the circumstances. But overall, I think it's just a really happy event that people can sort of meet and have a feeling of being actually part of a community, an academic community.
Great. So just had lunch and just waiting now, enjoying the sunshine. It's about to be my session in a second. I'm feeling quite confident, not too apprehensive at all, and hopefully it will go well. I'm excited. So I am here with
Mark Lambiris from the Swiss Tropical and Public Health Institute.
And Mark, how have you found the conference over the last few days?
I found it amazing. A very large breadth of topics presented, very interdisciplinary with people from all over the world. A great opportunity to see top quality at the frontier research, and also really an amazing bunch of people.
After an earlier lunch session, it was now time for me to present.
So the conclusion is that the EMD program can deliver a positive SRI ratio and help alleviate wait lists for mental health services within South Wales and the NHS. So these are my references, and thank you for your time and your attention.
You know, on a topic which is very dear to me, social health insurance is...
So with the final parallel session wrapped up, it was now time for the closing plenary session.
The implications are for countries which do not have a social health insurance system.
So after the final plenary session, it was re-announced, or we were re-reminded, that the next European Health Economics Association conference in 2024 will be taking place in Vienna, Austria. The organizing committee kindly created an interactive game for us to test our general knowledge on Austria ahead of the conference.
For those who are interested in Mozart. But at least Mozart died in Vienna, so and for those who want to know where he's buried, you can go to St. Mark's Friedhof.
with the closing plenary session over, it was now time to collect our food bags, and that was the end of the conference. So with my remaining time, I wanted to see as much of Oslo as I possibly could. So here are some clips from Vigeland Sculpture Park. Sculpture Park was in the west of the city, and where I was staying was in the center. So to get back, I decided to hop onto a scooter. So when I made it back to the city centre, I caught up with some of the other health economists that were still in Oslo, and we went to go and grab some food to eat and also just wander around Oslo. Before going home, I had to try one more time on the tightrope. And finally, I achieved success. After 4 days of failed attempts, I made it to the other side. So this was now my last day in Oslo, and with the group from the night before, we decided that we would go sightseeing together. So we decided to take the boat and go across to Gressholmen Island, which was located in the Oslo fjords. The great thing about the boat is that it's included within the pass that you have for trains and trams as well. We took this opportunity to walk around the whole of Gressholmen, and it was really good fun. I also took this opportunity to ask one of the other health economists what they thought about their time in Oslo.
Okay, so here I am with Stefan Littman from Erasmus University Rotterdam. I'm an assistant professor and I do work on behavioral health economics.
So, how have you found the conference and being in Oslo?
Well, I've wanted to go to Oslo a long time, and having the conference here was just a great coincidence. The conference has been perfect from a social point of view, just meeting new people. And yeah, we're on an island right here with a bunch of people that I only met yesterday. So far that part is going great. So in terms of sense of adventure, I think that's what I get out of conferences.
There are a number of other islands that you can visit as well within the Oslo fjords, but because of limited time, we decided to head back. Once we got back to City Hall, the group split in half. Some of the group decided to have a more relaxing afternoon, and the rest of us decided to go to the viewpoint. I especially wanted to go given that it was my last afternoon in Oslo. The view at the top was well worth the hike, and honestly, my camera failed to capture how breathtaking the view actually was. If you are ever in Oslo, do yourself a favour and go and have a look for yourself. So I went back to the city centre where my suitcase was being held at the hotel, and I took the opportunity to go and sightsee one last time. So I went to the palace and I saw the gardens as well. So earlier that morning after checkout, I went back to the tightrope in order to complete it again. Some of you might be wondering why I included this side adventure into the main vlog, but there's a reason. At the conference, I came to realize that being an early career researcher is like walking a tightrope that's low to the ground. It's true that it's not so high that it needs a safety net, but it's still a tightrope that requires you to get across. It's all about balance. If you walk too slowly, then you will feel the entire weight of your body as the rope sways from side to side, causing you to fall off. However, if you walk too quickly, then you will likely miss your step and still fall off. And therein lies the beauty of having a low rope. It means that you're never too far away to reset, and once you do, you can very quickly find yourself where you last fell off. It's that incremental progression that will help you to achieve. It's constantly getting better and better until you reach the other side. As an ECR, you have the grace to make mistakes and to fall off. Falling off won't always look the same in each case as well. But that's fine because no experience is wasted. So with the new information you have, you do what you need to do until you get to the other side. And then it's important to celebrate yourself once you get there, and then get straight back to it to cement your newfound success. With a tightrope, tenacity is key. The real success comes in repetition and doing things successfully multiple times. Once you're happy with your new progress, then it's time to either raise the tightrope or to find a new challenge. But be prepared to make mistakes and fall off all over again. One thing Dr. Gerd Hansen mentioned in her presidential closing address was that conferences are a time of reflection. This idea resonated with me. Conferences aren't a waste of time. It's the perfect opportunity to leave the silo of the work that you're doing and what your colleagues are doing as well, to see what is going on a local and global scale. In my case, it helped me to reflect on my career, to take stock of what I've done so far and what I hope to achieve in the near future and then in the long term as well. After one last walk around the city centre, I made my way to the airport and got ready to go home. However, there was a delay to my flight and I ended up leaving about 3 hours later than expected. I didn't really mind too much because it gave me a few more hours in Oslo, and that's not a bad thing at all. All in all, my trip to Oslo was a great success. I was able to see a new culture, see a new country, meet a whole host of people, and it's put the battery in my back to make sure my research is worthy enough to present here again.